The DEA keeps a list. It is not classified. It is the kind of list that sits in a drawer at a field office in Miami and gets updated twice a year by someone whose job title is quiet. On the list, 4,300 names, every one of them a person who at some point ran the books for a major drug trafficking organization. 4,287 of those names have a second date next to them. 13 have a letter, P, which stands for protected. 0 have no second date and no letter. Nobody on the list retired. Nobody on the list is living quietly in a fishing town with a garden. The accountant is the only job in the cartel that cannot be replaced, and it is the only job in the cartel that cannot be left. On this planet right now there is a submarine commander whose country cannot reach him. That man is unreachable because it protects him. The man on this list is indispensable, which is a different word entirely, and a worse one. You are about to find out why those two sentences, cannot be replaced, cannot be left, are the same sentence. You are 26. You live in Medellin. You are not from a narco family. Your father drove a bus. Your mother sells fruit from a cart 3 days a week and takes in sewing the other 4. You studied accounting at EFIT because your aunt said accounting is safe, accountants always eat, and she was not wrong. You graduated in the top 15%. You got a job at a mid-sized logistics firm handling invoices for a transport company that moves flowers to Miami. You are extremely good at your job. You never miss a number. You never mix up a column. You file everything on time. Your desk has 3 pens and 1 stapler, and the pens are always in the same order. This is the reason you are about to get another job offer, and this is the reason you will not survive it in the way you think you will. A man named Oscar, who is a second cousin of a man who's a first cousin of someone important, invites you to a coffee. The coffee is at a good cafe near El Poblado. He is polite. He wears a linen shirt. He asks you about your mother. He asks if she still has the problem with her hip. You did not tell him about your mother's hip. You do the mental arithmetic of how he knows, and you arrive at the correct number in under 3 seconds, which is part of why he is talking to you. He offers you a side job, weekend work, reviewing the invoices of a construction consultancy. The pay is 4 times your current salary. He says the word consultancy the way a doctor says the word procedure. You take the job. You tell yourself you will stop if anything looks wrong. Level 1, the quiet hire. You do not meet anyone scary. You meet an office in a nice building. You meet a woman named Paula who brings you stacks of paperwork twice a week and takes them back 36 hours later. The invoices are for cement, for rebar, for earth moving equipment rental, for concrete mixer maintenance contracts. The numbers are clean. The numbers are almost too clean. A real construction company has ugly numbers. A forgotten subcontractor, a disputed invoice, a rental that ran 3 days longer than the contract. Your invoices do not have any of this. After 4 months, you understand what you are looking at, not because anyone told you, but because your brain refuses to hold contradictions quietly. The construction company builds nothing. The invoices document work that did not happen. What happened is the money. Your job is not to audit the construction. Your job is to make the construction legal on paper. You do not quit. You buy your mother a better hip. That was the easy part. Level 2. The first dirty invoice. 2 years in, Paula brings you something different. It is a single-page invoice for a shipment of industrial refrigeration units. The amount is 1.8 million US dollars. The signature at the bottom is a name that 3 weeks earlier appeared in a newspaper article about a man who was found in a car near Cartagena with his hands tied. You recognize the signature not because you memorized it, but because your memory does not give you a choice. Paula watches you read the page. She does not look away. She waits. You sign off on it. You file it. You do not say anything. That night you go home and your hands are steady. Your hands are always steady. That is the problem. Steady hands mean your body has already decided something that the rest of you is not yet caught up to. You understand for the first time that the thing you are good at is not accounting. The thing you are good at is not asking. Here's the part they redacted from every news story you have ever seen about a cartel. The money does not arrive in duffel bags. The money arrives as problems. A man in Sinaloa sold 70 kilos to a distributor in Atlanta, and the distributor wired the money through a shell company in Panama into a construction escrow in Medellin. By the time the money reaches you, it has already been handled by lawyers in 3 countries, a notary in the Cayman Islands, a priest who owns a livestock export firm, and a 31-year-old banking officer in Switzerland who went to the same graduate school as you. The money does not smell. The money is very clean by the time it gets to you. Your job is to make sure it leaves as something that looks like a hotel renovation in Barranquilla. The priest gets 8%, the banker gets 3%. The lawyers get whatever they agreed. You get nothing yet. You are still on salary. You do not understand yet that the salary is the point. Level 3, the cash room. 4 years in, the organization decides you are reliable. They take you to a house. The house is in a neighborhood you have never been to. Inside the house is a room. Inside the room are bills, not stacks on a table, bills. Wrapped in vacuum-sealed plastic bricks like it are stacked from the floor to a height of 6 feet along 3 of the 4 walls. You are told the number, 42 million US dollars. You are told the problem, this money has been sitting for 11 months. It is called buried money, not because it is underground, although some of it is, because it is untouchable. The government cannot see it, the bank cannot see it, the cartel cannot spend it. A dollar that cannot move is not a dollar, it is a brick of paper that smells faintly of mildew. Your job is to turn $42 million into a spendable asset in under 6 months. The only rule is that nothing you do can create an audit trail that points back to this room. You take the job because you are already in the room, and the room does not have a door out for you. You figure out a way. You are not going to be told the details because the details are technique and the technique is still used. But the mechanism is not magic. You blend the cash into a chain of cash-heavy businesses, car washes, currency exchanges in tourist towns, parking structures with attendants who do not speak when asked. You structure the deposits to stay under reporting thresholds. You build a forest of shell companies where each one buys services from the next one at slightly inflated prices, and each markup is itself a laundering step. You use a bakery in Cucuta for 42 days. The bakery reports record profits. Nobody audits a bakery. By the end of 6 months, the 42 million has become a chain of deposits, equity positions, and tax-paid declared income spread across 11 businesses in 3 countries. The organization moves you out of salary and onto a percentage. You make in that year more than your father made in his entire life, multiplied by 9. Your mother's house gets a new roof. She does not ask how. She has stopped asking things. Your mother knows. She has known since the first new roof. She has the kind of love that does not need to ask, because asking would obligate her to do something with the answer. This is not denial. This is a specific kind of Colombian understanding, which is that you do not look directly at the thing that is feeding you and the person you love at the same time. She lights a candle every Sunday for a saint she picked because the saint is associated with impossible situations. You do not know this. You have never asked what she prays about. This is the first lie of many, that the job makes you tell your own mother without opening your mouth. Level 4. La contabilidad. The word the organization uses is not bookkeeping. The word is la contabilidad, the accounting, and it refers not to the work but to the knowledge. By year 7, you know things that nobody writes down. You know which senator's campaign was funded through a Miami real estate deal. You know which judge owns a condominium in Cartagena that he has never seen. You know which journalist is alive because a payment cleared on Thursday. You know which journalist is dead because a payment did not clear on a Friday. You know the names of 3 people in Washington who are on a retainer described in your books as legal research. You know the exact amount to the peso that was moved through a cathedral in Envigado during the first week of October in a year you will never forget. The organization does not need to tell you to keep quiet about any of this. They know you are an accountant. Your entire professional instinct is to protect the numbers. They understood this about you before you understood it about yourself. Here is the thought you have been pushing down since level 3. You are the only person in the organization who cannot be cleanly replaced. The hitmen are interchangeable. There is an unlimited supply of young men in Medellin willing to do that work for a motorcycle and a phone. The growers are interchangeable. The mountains produce farmers the way they produce coffee. The chemists can be trained in 9 months. The distribution network is a graph of human nodes, and any single node can be rerouted in under a week. But the books, the real books with the names and the dates and the bank routing numbers going back 15 years, live in your head. If you die tomorrow, the organization loses more than a person. It loses a decade of operational memory that cannot be reconstructed because nobody else ever saw all of it. This makes you important. This is also what makes you, at precisely this moment, the person in the room most likely to be killed. You laugh at something small. You are reading a joke on your phone in a waiting room, something stupid about a cat, and you laugh out loud genuinely for the first time in maybe 4 weeks. The receptionist looks up. You catch yourself feeling good. The feeling good is the thing that scares you, not because good is wrong, but because you realize the part of you that can still feel good about a stupid cat joke is the part the organization is paying you to retire. You put the phone down, you look at the receptionist, she goes back to her magazine. You are smiling for the first time all month, and it is about a cat. And you understand that the smile is proof you have not yet fully become the thing you are becoming. You do not know whether to be relieved or ashamed. You are both. That is the condition now. Level 5, the man who knows. 10 years in. You no longer report to Oscar. Oscar reports to you, which is a sentence neither of you will say out loud. You are flown to meetings in private planes. You are not armed. You have never been armed. You do not need to be. The 3 men in the room with you are armed, and they are there to protect the numbers that live in your skull. Your function has become geometric. You're the point at which the money the organization generates converts into the structures it uses to stay alive. Without you, the cartel still has products, still has territory, still has violence. What it does not have without you is a future, because a future is the thing money buys, and you are the one who decides how the money walks into the future and what clothes it wears. You know this. The men in the room with you know this. There is a specific silence in those meetings that is your silence, and everyone listens to it. You try to leave, not dramatically, not with a sealed envelope and a private plane to a country with no extradition. You try the civilian way. You meet a woman, a real one, not a convenience, and she is a pediatric nurse from Manizales, and she is 32. She wants a life that looks like a life. You tell the organization you want to transition out over 2 years. You say the word transition because you have been reading books about American business practices. The meeting is short. The response is polite. A man named Ivan, who you have known for 6 years, tells you that the organization does not do transitions, but it does respect the fact that you have asked. He says this the way an accountant says a line item is disallowed. There is no anger in the room. There is only inventory. You understand, at the exact moment his sentence ends, that you have just told the cartel the name of the pediatric nurse. You did not say her name. You did not have to. You are the accountant. They have been watching the numbers of your life for 6 years. And a 32-year-old pediatric nurse from Manizales who visits your apartment 11 times a month is a line item. You go home. You do not call her for 3 weeks. When you call her, you end it. You tell her it is about your work. In a way, you are not lying. She takes it badly, which is fair. She does not know that you ended it because you did the math on her probability of being alive in 6 months if you did not. Here's the part nobody mentions about this profession. The cartel does not kill you for trying to leave. The cartel kills you for trying to leave with information. If you disappear into a monastery and never speak again, the cartel lets you go. They have done it. There are 2 men you know of. One is genuinely a monk now. If you disappear into a witness protection program, the cartel kills you if it can reach you, and it reaches further than people believe. If you disappear into a normal life with a wife and a pediatric nurse and a child and a garden, the cartel makes a calculation about how long it will take for normal life to become unbearable, and how long unbearable lasts before a man with your information starts drinking with strangers. The calculation is always shorter than you think. The calculation is why the pediatric nurse hangs up on you for the last time, and why you sit on the floor of your apartment and you do not cry, because crying is a skill you stopped using at level 2, and because the thing inside you that would have cried about this is the thing the job already paid you to put down. Congratulations. This is the part where in a normal career you would be given a title. In this career the title comes with a house. The house is beautiful. It is in a suburb of Medellin called El Poblado, on a hill. And it has a view of the city at night that looks like a circuit board someone spilled gold onto. The house has a pool, which you do not use. The house has a study, which you do use. The house has a security system the organization paid for, which is monitored by a firm owned by a man who owns you. The house is yours. You own it outright. You could sell it tomorrow, in theory. In theory is doing a lot of work in that sentence. The house is the most beautiful object you will ever own. And the house is the physical form of a sentence. And the sentence is, you are home. Meaning this is where you stay. Your country is very grateful. Your country does not know your name. The economy of this city has been shaped in small and traceable ways by the work you have done at a desk for 12 years. A hospital wing exists that would not otherwise exist. A highway interchange was accelerated by 4 years. A university building has a plaque with a name on it that is not a real name, but is a name that passed through your columns in 2019. These are not bribes. These are not even favors. These are tax-deductible charitable contributions by legal entities that you built for purposes other than these contributions. And the contributions happened because it was the most rational use of money that needed to exist somewhere legal. You did not plan the hospital wing. The hospital wing is a coincidence of your technique. You pass it sometimes on your way to a doctor's appointment. You have a doctor now. You did not used to have a doctor. You are 42. You sit on your balcony in the evening. Medellin is one of the most beautiful cities in the world at dusk. The light does something to the valley that the tourism board has never quite managed to put into a video. You have a glass of a very good wine. The wine is expensive. You are allowed expensive things now. Your phone does not ring. It has not rung with an urgent matter in 9 months. You are too senior for urgent matters. Your mother lives 3 neighborhoods away, in a house with a garden and a woman who cooks for her. Your mother is alive. Your mother is 71 and will probably live another 15 years, which means 15 more years during which you cannot leave. Your sister is a dentist in Miami. You paid for her school. She does not know you paid for her school. She thinks she got a scholarship. In a way, she did. The fingers of your right hand are doing something they have been doing for about 6 years. They are tracing a column in the air above the stone railing of the balcony. The column is not there. The pen is not there. The numbers are not there. Your fingers are counting a ledger that exists only in the part of you that no longer fully belongs to you. You noticed this habit about 2 years ago. You tried to stop it. You cannot stop it. It happens when you are tired, when you are bored, when you are sitting in a dentist's chair, when you are at your mother's on a Sunday afternoon. It is a professional tic, the same way a sniper learns to regulate breath, except a sniper can retire and the breath returns to being breath. Your fingers do not return to being fingers. Your fingers belong to the ledger now. The part of you that sits on this balcony and watches the valley is a guest in the hands of the accountant. You are 42. You will be 45. You will be 50. The men around you will change. Some will die of violence, some of diabetes, some of the thing no one names that happens to men who drink too much and sleep too little for too many years. You will remain. You will remain because the organization cannot afford to lose you, and because you cannot afford anymore to be lost. There is a word for this condition in Spanish. The word is not indispensable. The word is a softer word, almost tender. The word is querido, beloved, held close, valued. The cartel does not kill what it holds, querido. The cartel also does not let it go. These are two ways of saying the same thing. The men in that Miami DEA office updating the list twice a year, they know about you. They have a file. The file is thick. The file has your mother's address and your sister's dental practice, and the name of the pediatric nurse from Manizales who moved to Bogota in 2024 and married a man who owns a restaurant and has 2 children. The DEA does not approach you. They have tried once in 2022 through a man who pretended to be a business consultant. You knew within 4 minutes. You did not tell the organization. You simply did not answer the second email. The DEA has, in its file on you, a note that reads, "Subject demonstrates full awareness of federal interest. No defection pathway viable. Monitor only." They are right. They wrote the correct sentence. They do not know that the sentence also describes how you feel about yourself. You finish the wine. The valley has gone from gold to a deep blue that is not quite night. Somewhere in this city right now, a 26-year-old accountant at a mid-sized logistics firm is closing out the week's invoices. His desk has 3 pens and 1 stapler, and the pens are always in the same order. A man who is a second cousin of someone important is about to invite him to a coffee. The coffee will be at a good cafe near El Poblado. The young man will be polite. He will be flattered. He will take the job because his mother has a problem with her hip, and because he is extremely good at his work, and because the number on the offer is a number he can use. He has no idea. He has no idea that the thing he is good at is not accounting, and that the thing he is good at will, in 19 years, be the reason he sits on a balcony and cannot leave it, counting a column in the air above a glass of wine, watching a valley he loves go dark. Somewhere off the coast of Louisiana, 200 miles from the nearest hospital, a man is waking up to a vibration in the floor of a platform that he cannot quite identify. He has 47 seconds to decide whether that vibration is normal. His paycheck is $100,000 a year. He sells time his body is counting against him. The accountant sold time his mind is counting against itself. The next story is about the first one. This one ends here on the balcony with the wine, with the fingers that will not stop tracing the column that is not there.